gangster rappers never had easy access to the airwaves.
You have the right of free speech in this country, but you don't have the right to yell fire in a crowded theater. And that is what some of these records are doing. They're yelling, shoot in a community that is crowded with guns.
You should have known by now, Eazy E.
Eazy owns the company, right? He owns Ruthless Records. And if we'd have went to a major company from the beginning with the stuff we had, we'd probably never been out, you know, but since we were doing the records ourselves, put out pretty much anything we want to, you know, and it took off.
I believe in the Constitution, I believe in the First Amendment, and there is nothing that Ruthless or any other company like us does that we shouldn't be doing.
1980s, a turbulent time period in American history. Amongst other issues, there was a surge of crack cocaine epidemic in major cities across the United States throughout the entirety of the 1980s. Eric Wright, or later known as Eazy E, a former drug dealer, aspired to get into the music industry for quite some time. Eazy, who already had money from his street business, started working with local talent, most notably Dre and Ice Cube, and recorded some demos, including the early version of Boys in the Hood. Eazy, who had never rapped before, recorded it himself after Dre and Ice Cube convinced him. He was an outsider to the music business, but he had money and was determined to break in. He approached a Jewish music industry veteran, Jerry Heller, through industry contacts, likely Alonzo Williams of world-class Wrecking Crew, and allegedly paid $750 to meet with Jerry Heller. Heller wasn't just taking meetings with random street people, so Eazy used cash to get taken seriously. Eazy showed up to a meeting with a shoebox full of money, reportedly $250,000. Along with the cash, he brought demo tapes, including Boys in the Hood. Heller has confirmed this story in multiple interviews and in his book, Ruthless Memoir. Eazy wanted business help, management, and a key to open up the doors of the music industry, and the money was a way to prove he wasn't wasting Heller's time. Eazy brought authentic street credibility and talent with him, and Heller was impressed by Eazy's business instinct, charisma, and the raw edge of the music. Jerry Heller, being a veteran in the music business and already managing some hip-hop artists, recognized the potential. He agreed to work with Eazy and put up $250,000 for a 20% stake in the company. In 1987, they formed Ruthless Records, which would give birth to the golden age of gangster rap and be a springboard for other labels like Death Row Records, another juggernaut of the 90s gangster rap music. That same year, Eazy E, Ice Cube, Dr.Dre, MC Ren, Arabian Prince, and DJ Yella form a group called N.W.A. under Ruthless Records. With all the cards in place, the record label released their first record, Boys in the Hood, in 1987. This was the label's first hit, gaining strong radio play in LA. That same year, they also released the N.W.A. and the Posse compilation album, which would initially have modest success, selling mainly in the West Coast underground rap scene, and later achieved the gold status with over 500,000 copies sold. The breakthrough point came in 1988 with the release of Eazy Does It, which was his debut solo album, and it would go on to sell over 2.5 million copies, gaining double platinum status. However, everything was about to change in a couple of months.
Yo, Dre. What up? I got something to say. Police coming straight from the underground. A young nigga got it bad 'cause I'm brown.
N.W.A. released Straight Outta Compton album in the same year, which caused an uproar of controversy and national outrage due to songs like F the Police, and also started the golden era of gangster rap.
Why you come up with these songs?
I think somebody should write a song called F the Police. No, it's like when we wrote the song F the Police, it's the stuff that we've been through before and that everybody around us been through. People been going through for years, but we was, you know, everybody else was scared to put it on record. So we put it on record, said it how we wanted to say it, and everybody didn't pay attention to it till Holiday caught this Rodney King beating on tape. Then everybody's going, oh, that's why they did this song, F the Police, you know, because everybody's putting us down for doing the song. The FBI was sending us letters, and, you know, police was harassing us. Oh, so you the ones that did the song, F the Police. I ought to beat you a little, you know, stuff like that. Now, since all this happened, everybody really paying attention to it now.
And now, though, I mean, you think you've made the point?
I mean, I think we made the point a long time ago, but everybody just opened their eyes now.
Did you write that song and some of the others as a warning, or just to share the experience?
I mean, you could say it was a warning, but just letting other people know what's going on and what could happen. But that's the stuff that we've been through, and that everybody else goes through it. We just put it on record.
So were you surprised when the riots broke out?
Not at all. It's like 400 years plus and they can't take no more, you know. They make examples of everybody else, you know, and everybody know that the 4 officers were guilty, and everybody's seen that for themselves, and it's like people was fed up.
Do you think you speak for a generation out there that the others have not spoken for?
Probably so.
Well, why is that? I mean, like they're just not addressing the younger crowd?
Yeah, I think they're not at all. But I guess we're speaking for a lot of people out there that haven't spoke yet, or afraid to speak.
This week, the music industry was encouraged to stop releasing the music, and a U.S. senator threatened to hold public hearings on the subject.
That would send a very strong message, but it might also punish the success of the radio station.
We have to speak out against that which demeans us, and unfortunately, gangster rap does that.
And the critics are coming out in force, and the Reverend Jesse Jackson said today he may target some of the record companies which distribute gangster rap albums.
Never before has there been such a will to use music, to advertise self-destructive violence.
I like them. I think they're hot. They speak the truth.
I'm Eazy E, the hip-hop thugster.
What's up? I'm Dr.Dre.
I'm DJ Yella.
There's nothing in our records that's not real. Everything that's in our records did happen or could happen.
We're not telling you to go do it. We're not telling you not to do it. We like neutral. We're in the middle. If you do it,
underground.
Hey, that's on you.
We're not glamorizing nothing. They don't say that when you look at the news, they're showing all kind of shootings and killing. They're not saying that they're glamorizing it, right? But it's happening.
It wasn't all that terrible, you know, but I've seen terrible things and I've heard terrible things that I take into my mind.
The first time I heard N.W.A, I heard the song Gangsta, Gangsta, which seemed to me to be endorsing black-on-black crime, endorsing drive-by shootings. And I used to joke with friends of mine that these guys were like the Antichrist.
More and more radio stations are taking requests to tone it down.
Dancing on a ceiling like vinyl.
Hardcore gangsta rap is burning up the charts with its searing rage and igniting growing outrage.
The rappers argue that they're only painting word pictures about real life on the mean streets of America.
There's no difference in rappers. We all represent the consciousness of our people, but there are certain ways that we go about it.
You know what I'm saying? We're just expressing ourselves.
We definitely knew there was a lot of tension down here, and we tried to explain it to people, but nobody wanted to listen.
A fool could get his head split.
We, African American women particularly, are tired of being called hoes, bitches, and sluts by our children, who are paid to do this by Time Warner.
We were like the voices from down here in the hood yelling out to people on the rap records. The way this LAPD was operating pre this situation, they needed to get killed because they definitely were savage and they were worse than any street gang in Los Angeles.
It threatened criminal prosecution if the stores continue to sell the new N.W.A. record.
Promote violence against authority and consequently violence against law enforcement.
It's better you than me. Do you really believe these lyrics could incite someone to kill?
When you have young people today, especially with the problems in our society, you have a young person that holds Ice-T up as a role model. They may take those lyrics literally and kill a police officer. As you go through those lyrics, you can basically understand he's planning the assassination of a police officer. It's a concern that should be shared by everyone.
Ice-T is not telling anybody something they don't already feel. Ice-T is reflecting a real frustration in the black community, particularly among young blacks, with police officers.
The gangster rap era was in full swing and Ruthless Records led the charge, and along the way signing upcoming promising artists like the D.O.C. and N.W.A. With all the controversy around it, money was flowing in. But shortly after, the record label was in an internal conflict over money disputes, as Ice Cube accused Jerry Heller of stealing money and manipulating Eazy E to get a bigger share of the profits earned by the record label. Ice Cube was writing most of the content coming out of Ruthless, so naturally, he wanted a bigger cut, as he was paid a fraction of what he earned. This situation could have been resolved, but greed stepped in and broke things apart. Cube was smart and never signed any contracts with Ruthless Records. So in 1989, he was able to leave the record label, and Heller and Eazy failed to see Ice Cube as a long-term success, and they thought he can't do it without them. Later, he went to New York and teamed up with Public Enemy's production team Bomb Squad and recorded his first solo album, America's Most Wanted. The album blends West Coast street-style sound with the East Coast production. Lyrically, it's angry, militant, political, and unapologetically street. The album sold over 1 million copies, gaining platinum status. These numbers were huge for a debut solo rap album in 1990, especially without radio support or MTV Play, because there was an active crusade against rap music going on. 3 months after Cube's first album dropped, N.W.A. dissed Ice Cube on their 100 Miles and Runnin' EP, and Ice Cube responded with No Vaseline, a brutal, full-scale lyrical assault on Ruthless Records, which is considered by many the greatest diss record ever made.
Ice Cube won't pump it up. I got all suckers 100 miles and running.
Like to give a shout out to the DOC.
Y'all can't play.
Priority Records was the distributor and business partner for Ruthless Records during its most successful years. Priority owed Cube money, and Cube was not going to let it slide. He stormed into their offices and smashed the wall decorations with a baseball bat, demanding his money.
So there was a knock on the glass door, and I was reading a paper, and I looked up, it was Ice Cube, and he had 3 of his homeboys with him, and they were, they had their trench coats on and weren't looking too happy, and I said, "What's up, Cube?" And I opened the door for him. There were no security procedures at the time. He just stared me down, walked past me, and his crew walked past and went then into the president's office. About 5 minutes later, I heard screaming and glass breaking.
There was something going on, so I jumped out of my desk. I got up, I ran out, and I get to my partner's door, it's closed, and I hear all this screaming going on.
Cube was standing over Brian with a baseball bat, and he had his 3 guys standing behind him, and Cube turned around and screamed at Mark and I to get the hell out of the office.
"Mark, get out of here, man. I'm cool with you. Just please, just leave."
And this has nothing to do with us, and I was glad to hear that, and I took a step back.
And I said, "Cube, I can't do that, man. This is my partner. I have to stand here, and I have to make sure nothing happens here. If you're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. If you're not gonna fight, let's talk about this."
Cube smashed the TV and hit Brian's glass desk and screaming about he didn't have the money that Eazy E had and why is Eazy paid and I'm not. He stormed out of the office and smashed his gold and platinum plaques on the wall in the lobby.
Squad cars all over the place, and they're all ready to bust everybody and everything. And Cube's a good guy. He's a damn good guy. He's always been very, very good to Priority and very good to me. And so I said to Cube, "Cube," I said, "meet me in Marina Del Rey tomorrow." And I rented a 50-foot powerboat, fishing boat. So we went out and we went fishing for about 4 hours. I made us lunch, and then we listened to a bunch of Cube's new album, and he said that there was a problem. He said he was owed money, this and that. And I said, "Then there is no problem." I said, "It's taken care of. You'll get the money." And I got back to the office and I straightened it out immediately.
The departure of Ice Cube was a huge blow to Ruthless, but a bigger problem was on the rise. Dre also expressed his concerns about his money, and this is when the real problems began. Dre was desperate to get out of his contract, and just in time, a young entrepreneur with a problem-solver reputation was trying to get his record label running, and Dre was just the guy he needed to get it started. Suge Knight offered Dre help, and Dre gladly accepted to break free from Ruthless. So Dre set up a meeting between Suge and Eazy.
They tried to bully him. He told us the story. He said that Dre called him, to meet with him to sign over, sign him, get him out the contracts or release him or whatever. But when he get there, Suge was there. So they was in a hotel room. Suge had dudes hiding in the closet under the bed. And when he get up there, Suge locked the door. All these cats come from under the bed and out the closet in the bathroom with guns. You know what I'm saying?
And Dre was in there?
Dre wasn't there.
Oh, Dre wasn't there at all?
Nah. Dre set it up though.
Okay, so
because he didn't hate Dre. You know what I'm saying? As people try to portray, he didn't. They was friends once.
Yeah, they were really close friends at one point.
Eazy was smart, so he didn't put his real signature on the paperwork. Ended up getting 20% of everything that they put out for the next 6 years, and they couldn't do nothing about it. Anything Dre produced or made over there, he got paid.
I said, "What's going on here?" And Eazy said, "You know this guy Suge Knight?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I'm going to kill him. He said, this guy's going to be a problem, and I think I should kill him. I said, let me think this thing through.
By 1991, Ruthless lost Dre the D.O.C. and Michelet, who joined Suge Knight on his new record label Death Row Records. So Ruthless and Death Row had beef from the start.
Suge tried to destroy my record company with the help of others, Dre. So right now we're getting everything back together and we finna come out, you know, fully loaded.
Eazy was pissed off at Suge for taking Dre, and it was much money and energy and work that Eazy put into starting Ruthless and making it a success, you know, like that. It was, you know, kind of gone. Eazy wanted to kill Suge himself. He just wanted to kill Suge. And Jerry talked him out of it.
That beef drew very severe lines.
You can tell the fallout happened because all the stuff that we have from Cold 187 and 187 and this and that, it's like we felt, and Eazy felt that they took our whole essence, fooled the people at the time. You know, and Eazy, you know, they making lies about certain different things. You know, Eazy felt like, man, f them, f Death Row. You know what I'm saying? We know what it is. Yeah. We know what it is at Death Row. So it was Ruthless against Death Row. You know, and they didn't like us and we didn't like them at the time.
Dr. Dre, that was, you remember that group, the World Class Wrecking Crew? Yeah. That wore lipstick, stick lace, biker shorts, and, you know, ruffles, eyeliner.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, if you go look back like to his old albums before, you could tell where he originally came from. See, if you look back at me, you could, when my beginning, I did the Boys in the Hood. He was never really from the streets. And I figured, like, what he talking about? He said he's got a song I call G Thing. I figured G stuff come from the concrete, and that's the streets, which he was never from the streets. Only reason why people affiliate him with the streets is through me. So it's like, where we from, Compton and Long Beach, they don't get along with each other. See, like, people in Compton really don't, you know, claim Dre as being from Compton, and they don't claim Snoop from being from Long Beach.
There was an altercation that happened on a golf course.
Yeah.
You actually got hit, right? With a golf club?
Yeah.
But by who?
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually was good at what I do, you know what I'm talking about? So
right. But you broke
I didn't run. If you look at the footage, I didn't run from the golf club. I was giving Nate his chance. You got one swing and you know what I mean? And I knew I could do that. And I blocked it, but it was so much force that I didn't anticipate to even to block it. Broke my hand. And when the tip of it hit me, I bust my head, but then the tip of it broke off of the club. See, all that ain't on the video.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? That's how much force, well, it could have probably killed me if I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how serious it was for me.
Eazy E boys, they was just, I mean, me and Ricky Harris was riding around, you know, in a little go-kart thing, getting ready to shoot a scene. And they just walked up on me like, fuck the dog pound, you know what I mean? And my response was like, I mean, it's about 100 people around, and one of them went behind me. So I'm like, well, either I swing now, else I just get swung on, so.
Matt, I love this game.
And with the Death Row situation, you know,
they was taking shots, man.
Yeah, they confronted me personally at a club. You know what I mean? I was like this on these motherfuckers, like, well, what the fuck I want to do? You know what I mean? I'm by myself. I don't give a fuck. I'm ruthless. What?
Ruthless Records at its peak was making $10 million a month, according to Jerry Heller. And Eazy also planned to expand his business into other ventures like video games and even headphone business. But before any of that could take place, something unexpected happened. Eazy E was hospitalized for coughing, which was in January. Then in February, he was diagnosed as HIV positive. Later in March, he had full-blown AIDS, and he dies on March 26, 1995. He was only 30 years old. Eazy passed away just 10 days after the diagnosis was made public. He had 11 children with 8 different girlfriends, and none of those girlfriends or their kids tested positive. But now there are claims that 2 other females were allegedly infected by Eazy E. Just before his passing, Eazy found out some shady details about his financials being mismanaged and fired Jerry Heller.
But from what I heard was Jerry Heller just wasn't fair with his money and misappropriated a bunch of Eazy E's funds, and Eazy E started finding out through different relationships, and he started feeling like Ice Cube was right. He wanted N.W.A. back together. He wanted Bone. He wanted all the groups that he was working with.
Shortly after, he married Tomica Woods on his deathbed, who was one of his girlfriends at the time. According to people close to Eazy E, she wouldn't let his family or friends see him. She inherited the Eazy E estate, and Ruthless Records was never the same after that. All of this happened in a short time span, and people suspected foul play. Many theories circulated over the years, from Tomica's involvement, Suge Knight's shocking comment on Jimmy Kimmel in 2003, or other music executives' involvement because Eazy owned his masters, to the acupuncture-tainted needles theory, and many more. His condition deteriorated rapidly, and he was reportedly placed in a medically induced coma before his death. Eazy may not have consciously approved some decisions made around his estate before he passed away. There's definitely something shady about all these events. His death created a major struggle for power loophole and effectively ended the Ruthless Records era. Although the record label continued with business after Eazy passed away, the godfather of gangster rap left, and so did Ruthless with him.